forewarned, forearmed. Wow. So we're going to do a reaction video on the BF Christmas teaser that Peach just released for Battlefront. Well, let's dive straight in because there's some really great content for this year. So as we know, Battlefront always give us the Christmas teaser around about this time of the year as a shout out to everyone who's helped them along the way, and also to give us a bit of a tease for what's coming for next year. So I've previewed this, and let's just be honest, there are some really wow moments in there. So let's go through the video and let's have a talk about it.
Hi all, welcome to the 2023 Battlefront Christmas video. Thanks all for watching, and we're going to talk about what happened in 2023, what we're going to do in 2024, and even something for 2025. So here we go. 2023 has been an excellent year for Battlefront. We've produced some products that have been very, very popular out there. We started with Red Dawn at the start of the year, VDV landing in America. Then we moved on to Berlin, the end of World War II, with German and Soviet books and lots of new releases. And then we moved on to Nordic and NATO forces, back again for World War III, Team Yankee. In Nordic forces, I got my new army, I got my Swedish army and the S-tanks, which I'm very happy to have. And in NATO forces, we've got lots of more new forces, including the French and many others, and the new Leclerc tank. So it's been a great year for all these products. I'd also like to mention we've had the NAM month, and we're currently in the Great War month. I'd like to mention our specialist range partners. They do a great job for us. If you can, please visit their stores. If you can't, visit their websites. It's really worthwhile.
So, as always, he does a shout out to all the partners and a wrap up for what we've seen this year. So this year was actually a really good year for Team Yankee. We saw quite a few really good releases for that, like Red Dawn, NATO and Nordic. I was really happy for NATO, especially to see a revamp for my Dutch. I'm really looking forward to trying out some Leopard 2A5s and maybe even some Apaches with them. But the real winners were definitely the Anzacs with their Lav Trials formation for that book. Nordic, on the other hand, I think the real winners were the Finns overall for formations and everything that you want for a competitive list. But monetary-wise, I'd be going for those S-tanks because I think they're a beautiful model and they look really nice. I really want one just to paint up. I think that's the consensus for a lot of people out there for Nordic, is just to grab some Swiss stuff to paint, especially the vegans. The vegans are also quite nice as well. Again, Red Dawn, that came out. That was quite nice. A lot of VDV, which was quite good. Some Cubans even. So that was pretty cool to have that, plus some new scenarios to play and try. I'd like to give some of the airborne missions a go eventually. Maybe in a competitive standpoint. I think that will really throw people straight away, is having a competitive standpoint where you actually have units parachuting in as one of the missions. As an option for those who do want to take airborne units. I think that will give them a really good edge in some games. And then we also had the Berlin releases for both late war Germans for Soviets as well. I think that was a much added bonus for the Soviets, especially with the formations, giving them those Lend-Lease Shermans. I think that was a great idea. And then if we look back to Berlin, I think it was a good round off to give the Germans a great send-off for that book as well. And I think those two books was really good for late war, just to end on them. And let's see what we've got for this year coming up.
Let's move to 2024 and what's coming. We've got lots of cool new tanks that some have come out already, and lots more that are going to come, like the Mouse and IS-3, etc. T-29, one of my favourites. And we wanted to integrate them into Flames of War.
So we got some more World of Tank stuff, which is kind of cool, but it seems that we're going to get some extras by the looks of it.
And we've come up with this scheme. It's called Late War Leviathans. You're going to get a free PDF in March on how to play those tanks in World War II with your regular forces. It's a fun new way to play, and it gives you a chance to play with all the kind of trial and experimental vehicles that came out or didn't come out.
And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. The first tease is Late War Leviathans. Now, as you can see, there's quite a bit here. You can't really tell for the points, but looks like a pretty solid game. T-44s, M26. Ooh, the tortoise. That looks nice, and it looks like... Can't really make out what the Soviets are, which is a bit disappointing, but the fact that you get T-29s and T-30s as well for the Americans, and T-28 assault tanks, derp turtles in the house for those who have played World of Tanks, I guess, or War Thunder. And the mouse. Is that units of 4 mouse? Ouch. Ouch, ouch, ouch. But that's pretty disgusting. You can get up to 5 derp turtles. Ooh. Well, that's going to make for an interesting Late War Leviathans list, especially with some of those units. It's like, I'd hate to know what the points are for some of those units, considering their stats. And it's like, that's some pretty crazy stats in there, like, pretty crazy. Like, it looks to be like AT-18, AT-19 on the T-28. Ooh, that's some pretty scary stats there, so I think... And then front armor 17, 8 and 2. Ooh. And then, holy hell, look at the tortoise's front armor. 21 and 11. How the hell are you supposed to stop that as a Late War Leviathan vehicle? Bloody hell. That does make it very interesting. It's like, holy moly. As a British player, I'd be like looking at it going, oh, I'm going to try and fit at least 2 of those in a list if I'm playing... Ouch. 21, 11. That's, yeah. It's like, that's kind of nearly like a Team Yankee, you know, Leopard 2 A5 for stats wise. That's a tough nut to crack. So that's enough about that. But yeah, wow. Wow, some crazy ideas running around for Late War Leviathans there, ladies and gentlemen. So they do seem to be quite, I guess, not OP'd, because it does look like there's quite a few rules to go with them. So it looks like if you have to play, it looks like there's more of a missions pack to actually playing with Leviathans rather than actually playing with them. So this might be actually very similar to like its own standalone event kind of thing, because it does say you can add in additional forces. But I think we'll have to actually have a look at this PDF when it comes out and actually have a look at it and review it, maybe see what we get, because it does look quite nice. I actually kind of really want some tortoises now, because they actually look really cool as a model.
2024 is also the 80th anniversary of D-Day. I was having a curry with the Restless Kaiser earlier this year, and he suggested, why don't you bring back the old army deals as an anniversary thing? I said, what a good idea. So we have. We've brought back 4 army deals for D-Day release. The US Armoured, British 7th Armoured, the Panzer Lehr and the 21st Panzer. The 21st Panzer is fully remastered with great new miniatures as well as a full range coming out. World War III Team Yankee. We've been working on a project we haven't wanted to talk to for almost a year now.
So 80th anniversary D-Day limited army lists. Now this looks pretty cool. So what do we get? So we got the Americans. So it looks like you get 3 Stuarts, quite a few Shermans. Looks like a full infantry company, which is in there quite as well. That's quite nice. Some 105s. Looks like they're bringing back the objective markers, which is kind of cool as well. And 2 M10s, like, that's not a bad force. What else we got? The Brits. So the Brits looks like a bit of a interesting one. Looks like the old Cromwells, which is kind of cool. Oh, you got priests. Oh no, the Sextons. Oh, very nice. And then you got your 2 objective markers, which looks like a destroyed Cromwell and a destroyed Tiger. So that's actually pretty cool. And a motor platoon with. So it looks like you'd have to use like the bold British book to do this, because it's like, I remember the M5s for D-Day, you actually have to take them as like a command card, so I can see this being used more for a British bold book list more than anything. Ooh, Panzer Division now, that's quite nice. Again, objective markers are pretty similar. That's quite nice. Like a lot of infantry, Panzer Grenadiers, backed up by some Panzer 470s. Or are they young Panzers? Can't really tell, looks like young Panzers. That's quite nice though, still. Couple nerves, even some AA, which is pretty cool. So it looks like you could pretty much like get most of that in formation. You wouldn't take much more to put like a few mortars or something, and that'd be pretty cool. Now this is the box I really wanted. 21st Panzer. Wow, if these come out in plastic, I'd be really happy. Because I'm looking at that and it's like, I'm wondering if they can do plastic for some of these, because that would be really cool. Fingers crossed that this is a plastic. If not, this would probably most likely be very much like the old resin one, which would be still pretty cool, because I think that'd be very nice. But the fact that you do get those objective markers in there, I think is pretty cool. So that's something to look forward to, like next year. Like, I think that'd be really cool. I know my wallet's gonna hurt quite a bit by the sounds of it already.
And it's about a new way of doing hard plastic infantry. We've started with 2 sprues for the Soviets and 2 sprues for the Americans. This does, for the Soviets, does all the infantry and heavy weapons, and for the Americans does their infantry and Marines. So World War III Soviets and Americans in July will have hard plastic infantry. We're really pleased how they come out, and there's also going to be a new starter set for World War III with these 2 forces and plastic infantry in it. It's very exciting, as this opens the door for lots of new things for us as a company.
So it looks like we've got some hard plastic infantry, like Soviets and Americans. They look really nice sculpts too, even though these are, like the Soviet ones look quite nice because it looks like they're actually on the spruce, so you can actually get it pretty good. And it looks like you actually get all the weapons options in there as well. So that in itself is actually pretty cool. So it looks like you don't have to buy separate unit boxes as well. So no longer do you have to buy the upgrades to get Spigot teams and grenade launchers and gales. So that's pretty cool. So I do like that. And I think that'll be very similar to the Americans. They look quite nice as well, like plenty of units in there. If these are going to be the miniatures, I think I'll be happy to get some.
Back to Flames of War. Mid-war is here to stay. Wayne's been working on a 200 plus page book called The Pacific 1942 to 1943. With it comes out 3 army deals: Japanese, US Marines, and the new forces, British Far East forces. Also, Battlefield in the Box is coming back for the Pacific with the ranges that you want to see.
Yes, back to Flames of War. Pacific, mid-war Pacific. That looks cool. I love that cover, that's pretty crazy. But yeah, 200 page book, that's going to be pretty big. So it looks like the US Marine deal is pretty cool. Big units of infantry, some AT guns, SPs, and some Stuarts. That looks pretty nice. I do love these Aussie infantry that they've got for the Far East forces. That looks really cool. So I really like that. That's bringing back some really cool infantry models, I think, which will be fun to have.
The last thing for 2024 is really our biggest reveal. A whole new game is coming out. It's called Clash of Steel. It's set in an alternative history where World War II ended in 1944 and the unthinkable happens. It starts again in 1948. It's a whole new game that focuses on tank versus tank combat. It's going to come out in 3 waves. The first wave is Operation Unthinkable, and it comes out in April. It uses the core Flames of War rules, and it's going to start with 2 starter sets: American versus Soviet and British versus German. Please note the starter sets have everything you need to play the game. They have all the tanks and vehicles, but they have the rules, they have the scenario, They even have the victory point counters in them, which you need for this special game. To help ensure that no one nation or tank can dominate the battlefield, Battlefront has created a new system where missions are dynamically generated by randomly drawing a mission setup card, a mission instruction card, and then multiple objectives cards. These will allow players to score victory points during the course of the game and allowing a force to potentially get wiped off the field of battle but still win the game, even though it's Pyrrhic. With this system, players need to balance the desire to knock out the enemy's forces but still remember to play the missions and score points. In addition to the great new starter sets, we will also have platoon boxes for all the new tanks, as well as the existing late war models that are included in Clash of Steel. From the massive German Mouse to the British tank-killing Tortoise, the American T-28 destroyer, and the heavy Soviet IS-3 tanks, and many, many more. We are here at Battlefront all really excited about Clash of Steel. If something's really come through all the play testing and all the games that all of us have been playing around the company all over the world, is that it's a fun game. I almost guarantee you're going to enjoy it. So please get out there and give it a go.
So, a new game, wow. A lot of people I think were speculating that this would probably be the announcement of B5. So this is actually completely different. This is like, you know, I think this takes it in a different direction. So you're actually going to maybe get some really cool things going. So let's have a look at what else we get with this. But a new game, that's wow. A little bit of shock there. I think wasn't expecting a full game to come out. So I was expecting this to be more like a box sets for late war leviathans, I think, more than anything. When I first saw the background, I was thinking, oh yeah, cool, some late war leviathan boxes, that looks pretty cool. But then when I have a look, when you zoom in, you actually see Clash of Steel. So, new game, wow. So, yeah, there you go. Like, those box sets are really nice. Like, that American versus Soviet set, so gives you plenty of options and a lot of decent tanks. So, very interesting to see. And then German one as well. Lots of Tigers, Jagdpanzers, a couple of Mouse. See, I might actually get this box because it gives you comets. What the hell is that in the background? Is that like a... It looks like a Centurion, but it doesn't. It's very interesting. Can't really tell what that is. But Tortoise, a couple of really cool tanks. So that looks like a very interesting British tank. I can't really tell what it is. I have to go have a look at my prototypes again, I think, on my tank encyclopedia. And brush up on that and see what that is. Because it looks like a Centurion, but the turret's wrong. And the sloped armor is very similar as well, but still interesting. But yeah, this looks like a really cool game to play. Like, it looks like it's got a lot of set out stuff to do. Like, you got Chaffee's M10s. So it looks like the Americans... Oh, whoa, hello. That's a Panther 88. Panther 88s, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. This does make it look very interesting. Like, there we are, Panther 88s. Different missions as well. It looks like you actually get some pretty cool mission objectives with it as well. So that looks kind of cool. So it's actually like a pretty cool game. I might actually get this and actually think. So it even has like a inbuilt system if you actually are holding those objectives on the other demo. Oh, that's quite interesting. So they actually like very interesting to see what they. Ooh. So those objective markers are quite interesting.
The last topic I got to cover is 2025, early 2025 is early war. We're going to come out with early war with a massive bang. We're talking more than 20 plastic tanks and guns just for France 1940 Blitzkrieg. Also for France 1940 British, French and German hard plastic infantry. We're talking about doing this period properly and permanently. Coming with early war is 2 new starter sets, British versus German and French versus German, as well as 3 army deals and everything else that you need to play this period. I'm really personally excited about playing Charles de Gaulle and the Shah bees wandering across the countryside. For 2024, there's even more stuff coming out. We can't cover everything in this video, you're just going to have to stay tuned. We are very excited about 2024. Clash of Steel is going to be a huge amount of fun. And everything else that's coming is going to be good. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate it, we all appreciate it. From us here and all of ours to you and all of yours, have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and roll good dice. Take care all.
Last but not least, wow, early war for 2025. Whew, that's a long way to wait for early war, but I guess I know from a fact that a lot of people out there do wait for early war. They have been waiting quite a while, but I think when people do play the game, I think a lot of us did start off with early war just because that was the era that was produced kind of first. There was a lot of stuff for the infantry, and then I think as more things came out, everyone kind of shifted to late war because they want all the toys. Everyone wants all the toys. So I think it's going to be good. It'd be actually good to, go back and play some early war as well. Looks like we got some plastic tanks, which is also kind of cool. Well, there you have it. That's my reactions on some of the things that BF are releasing over the next year and a bit. So I'm definitely going to be hurting my wallet next year to the point that I'd have to admit myself for abuse of money to my wallet, because it's going to take a pounding next year with all those nice things that are coming out. I do have to admit though, those tortoise tanks rules for late war leviathans are quite eye-opening in regards to how would someone play against that, which is going to be very interesting. But the fact is, like, with those late war leviathans, you can go and buy those in those Clash of Steel boxes to get those straight away. That's kind of cool as well. I like that. So a big shout out to all my subs out there. I hope you enjoyed this review on BF's Christmas video and my reactions to it. I think overall, this is going to be pretty cool stuff that's going to come out from BF for the next year. Plus the new game as well. I think that's really cool. So I wish you all a Merry Christmas. Have fun. Stay safe over the holidays. Big shout out to my vet friends who are probably going to be away this Christmas season, or not away. But yeah, stay safe everyone, and good hunting.